So, something interesting here. This is called Flipping is Hard, and it's one of those so called rage games, like Getting Over It. You know, that game where you're the guy in a cauldron for some reason, you're trying to get over this 2D landscape with a hammer. This is like that, except it's 3D and you're a phone. You appear to be sort of one of those Nokia style phones, and yeah, you're trying to climb a landscape. We'll show a little gameplay, but not too much, and then we will talk about some critique about it because I think this is an amazing game that needs some serious polishing. Not serious polishing, but I think I can suggest some nice polishing elements that are probably already in mind. This game is a pre-alpha, as they say, and I mean, it's hard to know what devs actually mean by with the alphas and the pre-alphas and things like that. Different dev houses seem to have different definitions of these things, but yeah, in this case, it does seem to be quite an early release, but it looks really really good for an early release. So I'm super excited about it, and I really want to see where this goes. Um, and it's a relatively new release, I think. I mean, the itch.io doesn't obviously track all releases by the same person, but this at least build was first published 19 days ago and was updated 8 days ago. So yeah, and they have like press kits and things like that. This is the developer house Elegant Horse Studios, and they seem to be quite professional in their way. So yeah, exciting things. The quality, they mention here that the web is lower quality and takes about 40 seconds to load. I've already loaded it, so it should be a bit quicker than that now. The Windows download looks better, but I got to say that the web download does actually look pretty good. And after a lengthy wait the first time I downloaded it, it worked absolutely fine. So yeah, if you're here for a quick web game, I do recommend it. If you're on Windows and you want something a little more hardcore, then yeah, go with the Windows download. All right, let's jump in and we'll have a look, and then talk about a bit of critique afterwards. Right, so we can maximize it out. And yeah, so it's a pre-alpha build. They say things might act a bit weird. Certainly, the graphics can be a little bit weird here and there. Hold any button to close. And this is us. Oh, we were zoomed in here because of this rock. Okay, so this is us. We are a happy, smiling, Nokia-esque phone. This wasn't the super indestructible one. I mean, most of the Nokia phones of this area were pretty indestructible. The super indestructible one had a little aerial on this, what I had for ages. I had friends who drove over theirs and it just got a bit scratched up. Those old phones were absolutely incredible in terms of durability. Yeah, so it's a good start. It's a good, happy phone, and there we are. As we can see, there is a bit of a time thing in the corner, which I think has stored the time I was working on, because I haven't been having this for 10 minutes. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm not big on the time thing. So yeah, so we have WASD controls relative to where the mouse is pointing. So if I want to go that way, I press W to go that way, and if I want to go that way, W to go that way. So you aim with the mouse, and then you use the WASD controls to flip yourself in the 4 cardinal directions. And we are a phone that can flip. And we can also jump with a little bit of phone vibration. It's not a big jump, but it makes a difference. And apparently we can also slow motion. I don't know how long we can slow motion for. It seems as long as we want, as long as we have patience for. Alright. And we can hook a little bit on surfaces. This is how we can get up things, because we can, if I can line it up properly, hook over this a little bit there, with a little bit of momentum and things like that. So the surfaces are quite rough. It does, I don't know if it's just the sound of my imagination or if it actually is, but it does feel like the surfaces are different. I don't know. That would be quite amazing if they are. Yeah. And this is our landscape. We are trying to get up there, I believe, I think. I don't know. I haven't gotten very far on this yet. But yeah, so we can just aim and flip up things. Is this actually an object that we can, yeah, so we can knock things over. That's pretty cool. So we've got some pretty good physics in the game. I like that a lot. I didn't realize I could knock that over last time. That actually has pleased me greatly. And the goal here is to get up things. So, I mean, obviously, you flip faster when you're sort of sideways. But if you orient yourself to longer, we can get up sort of taller things. You know, that's the gameplay mechanics. And we need to get up this thing here. And, okay, that tree's floating a bit, so that's obviously a bit of an alpha level bug. So here we have someone we can talk to who appears to be a Tamagotchi. Is that what it is? We're going to talk to him using E, and he says, "What are you doing in my swamp brick?" Calls us a brick. Not very talkative, huh? The exit is up there. Buttons, roll out of here. Alright. So a little bit of discriminatory language there from the Tamagotchi. But who cares, because nobody uses Tamagotchis anymore these days. I mean, people do still. They're fine. I don't know. There's better pet games. Alright, so we continue along this way. I assume he meant up there is where we're trying to go to. Don't zoom in or out or anything like that, which would be quite nice. See here we have a half-finished staircase with pieces of wood that we can flip over. And you see the sound is good. I don't know if the sort of the quote-unquote stickiness of the material changes depending on what it is. So this one tricked me a little bit because it's a little bit high to get up to, but this is where you need that space to get up. Come on, I was able to do it last time. There we go. A little bit of spamming the jump button. Yeah, we did it. Come on. And we're up. Alright, and here we have... So that was the first challenge, just to teach us about jumping. I suppose the second challenge, the first was teach us how to flip up objects. Then jumping. Here we have the first challenge with spaces and the objects. Up. Up. No. Up. No. And there we are over things. We can go have a look around here. Maybe we can see a bit more of the landscape. I think we need to go up there, but let's take a quick look around, see what's happening. Is there any kind of reward for exploring the landscape? I don't think we can like pick things up or anything like that. But I know in some of these games there was a... We're going to be able to get back up this dip if we drop down it, yeah. It looks like a death drop to me, so we'll not go that way. They're very pretty trees, I must say. Big door. Imagine if we could open the door. It would make our lives a lot easier. Nothing interesting that way, so let's flip that way. Speedy flipping. Climb up here. Oh, we did that quite well, quite smoothly. Are we going to be able to get over this? And yep, we did that quite smoothly, I think. They did say kind of in the first time you play the game it's going to take a while. The second time you play it, you're going to be quick because you've learned a lot of the smoothness of moving around, which I haven't really learned yet. This is a bit tricky. Nope. Yep. Judicious jumping there. Saved the day for us. The jump button is very useful. Now this is quite interesting because we're quite slow here, but when we move into this, suddenly we speed up like mad. I don't know why this is fast, but it is quite fun. Oh, that was good. I jumped mid-roll there. Now this is where the first kind of getting over it style challenge starts to appear, because we have levels with gaps in them, and now we have to use the jump to jump over things. And we're up. Okay, this is going to be a bit tricky. And we fell down. Oh, and that actually just slides us. That's why it's so fast. We just slide down there. It doesn't look like enough of a slope to slide down, especially a rusty metal surface. But, you know, I don't know. That might be a good time for the devs to try like more shiny textures. Anyway, so I'm not going to play this too much more. This is definitely a game that you want to play yourself, because it is the kind of the frustration and the dopamine rush of actually succeeding in the face of the frustration is really the big value of games like this. So I'm going to stop playing there. The link will be in the description. That's all the gameplay I'm showing. If this looks good to you, then please come and give the game a try and the developer some love. Don't forget the downloadable is a lot better. Yeah, and don't forget to like and or comment and or subscribe this video, because that boosts the engagement for me a little bit. And that boosts the engagement for you and trains the YouTube algorithm to show you more gaming related videos, because that's what I make around here. So yeah, if you are into gaming related videos, then it is worth your while to comment and subscribe to and like gaming related videos, because then YouTube will give you more of them, because it thinks that's what you want to look at, and it wants to give you what you want to look at, so it can sell advertising space to advertisers and promise them that people will see them. Yeah, and that's YouTube in a nutshell. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. If, however, you are here for the critique, well, let's see what we can talk about here. I mean, obviously the usual things. The game is absolutely stunning. The sounds are very good. I love the vibration jump sound. It doesn't seem quite right to me, but I don't know. Maybe they recorded a particular model of phone that I never had. But I mean, obviously it's very obvious what it is. It sounds great. And the sounds on moving over the materials, fantastic. I'd like a little bit more ambient sound, maybe a little bit more, you know, the background noise, the wind and the things like that. That's probably a plan, but it's going to be difficult to make that and or any music a major factor here. And of course, devs, please do not forget the quality of life controls for the music and things like that. But I mean, for a version of 0.3.5, you know, full 3D game with complicated physics like this is absolutely amazing. Good job. Yeah, it's a Unity game, so you know, good job with the Unity engine. Yeah, what can we talk about? As mentioned, it did take a while to load. That initial load was they said about 40 seconds. I think I played this both in Firefox and Chrome, and I think Firefox took longer and Chrome was quicker. So that must have probably just been a bit of variation in my internet connection, but it was interesting. It was weird. There is no tutorial. I mean, you need to know about these kind of models of games to know what's going on. But I think for sort of newer players, it does need a tutorial, one that not only shows you how to play, but gives you a bit of a warning about what kind of experience you're expecting here, because you don't want players to go in a little bit blind. And there's, I think, a lot more potential players who have not played something like Getting Over It than there are ones who have played it and will be attracted because of that. So yeah, just seriously warn your players a bit in the tutorial, and then add a tutorial. I imagine it's something that's the kind of post-alpha thing to add already in the dev source, but just in case, you know, teach your players how to play a little bit. And along those lines, I think a bit more interaction with the player is an idea. One of the charms of Getting Over It were those like voiced blobs that played when you fell or when you reached a certain level, and they sort of gave a philosophical diatribe to the player. I don't know, you know, it sometimes it added to the frustration, sometimes it was quite calming and things like that. I think some kind of interaction, maybe, I mean, as your phone, maybe a phone call coming in or something like that. I don't know if that's something you already have in mind. Yeah, sort of more. I mean, we had that one little Tamagotchi unit there that chatted to us. More things that we can talk to, more stuff that chats to the player. There is something, a certain charm in sort of doing this alone, but I don't. I think intermittent contact is also has a charm to it. So it'll be a difficult one to balance. But I think I would personally steer more to chatting to the player. Giving him more context, more nothing that adds to the pressure, but just more interaction, um, more reminders that this isn't a horribly solo world. That there is interaction in this reality. I think would make it more interesting. I found that one of the most interesting parts of getting over it is that the stuff that the I think it was the developer speaking, the stuff that whoever was speaking told you. Um, yeah, it was a good reason to keep going in it. Um, yeah, I mean, other than that, the sounds are fantastic. Like the sounds like metal, the sounds like cardboard, the sounds like wood, and things like that as you roll over them. Fantastic, very 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 good sounds. Just do more of that. And the artwork is fantastic. The phone looks great. The physics are good. Those trees look absolutely lovely. I mean, look at that rolling in the wind. Yeah, everything seems to be working well. There's a little bit of pity about that one floating. Um, but aside from that, it's good. It's great. It's fantastic. Um, yeah, the final critique. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's my usual complaint about the immersion element. Again, this is very much in an alpha state. They're just getting the engine and the maps and things done. But don't forget, not just as part of the tutorial, but as part of the interaction I was talking about, and just the map designs and the layouts and things like that. We've actually come quite far. It was pretty quick going. It doesn't look far, but I think it is. Um, anyway, yeah, I'm getting distracted again. Don't forget to give the player their goal, their motivation for being here, possibly, but more than that. I mean, there's a brief talk about I have to climb and I need to get up to the golden platform to exit. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what is happening that I need to be a part of. I don't know why I'm trying to get out of here. I don't know why I started there. I don't know what's up there. What is this place? Give more context and more definition of the goal, and I don't just mean on a on the itch.io page with a little bit of text there. In game, put that stuff in game. Put goals in game. Put explanations. Put the tutorial. Put all of the info you have in the game, and yeah, give the player more reason to want to do this. Um, more reason to be this phone stumping around, climbing this world. Uh, I'm very worried because getting over it didn't really define that. At least there was no real motivation there, and I think that's what the game was missing to a certain degree. Why were you in the pot? What was going on? Um, why did you need to get to where you wanted to get to? And I know devs like to leave that up to the player to leave it open, but no, don't be lazy. Don't try and let the player do that much work for you. There's a very big difference between having a game and letting the player choose what's going on than those games where the player tells his own story. And this is not a game where the player tells his own story. Um, this is a game where the player explores your world, and it is important to let the player see more of your world and get a better idea of what the intentions are in your world, in order to want to explore it. Um, yeah, that's really just my statement there. Is bring the player in more. Uh, Participate with the player by giving them as much material as you can cram into their hands, and that's how you get them to love your game. And a game that I think is well worth loving. I mean, this is fantastic. This is a good one. I believe this will go far, and I can't wait to see my favorite YouTubers and streamers start playing this game. I'm going to enjoy that a lot, and I'm going to play it myself as much as I can. So yes, thank you very much for making it. Thank you to everybody else who is watching. I hope the critique was interesting. I hope the gameplay got you to come and play it because I think it's a good game to come and play. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.